All right, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Now, I want to be clear from the start that this is not speculation, and this is not drama, and this is not about rumours. This live is about documented promises, missing transparency, and a growing number of red flags that investors in Goliath Ventures Inc. can no longer ignore. Today, I'm going to have a bit of fun. We are going to have a look at the photo album of their big event. Then, I'm going to tell you some hard truths about where Christopher is, and also for those people hoping to be paid out. That is the goal. So this isn't my wording, this is their wording. I just jumped a big chunk of my notes, so let's start that again. This live is about documented promises, missing transparency, and a growing number of red flags that investors at Goliath Ventures can no longer ignore. Now I'm back into the swing of it. On the 3rd of December, investors were told in writing that the December the 15th to 18th pay cycle would include October catch-ups, November payouts, and everything owed returning to normal schedule. Their newsletter, not my words, their transparency to their customers. As I said, it's not my wording, that's their wording. We are now inside the promised window, and instead of clarity, we're seeing silence. We're seeing social media accounts scrubbed. We're seeing executives distancing themselves. We're seeing jurisdiction changes. I never do say that word right, and just to check myself.
Jurisdiction.
Yes, they're changing jurisdictions. They've moved the company to Wyoming, if you haven't actually been keeping up with events, and they have no offices in Wyoming, but they're obviously doing it to distance themselves legally, I believe. And we're seeing the CEO reportedly heading back to Dubai. I'm amazed he's allowed to get on that aeroplane. Hope he's paid the bill to the airplane pilot, as you might see in the thumbnail. Over the past few months, whistleblowers have come forward. Internal records have surfaced and payment structures have been exposed that raise serious questions about where investors' money is actually coming from and who is really paying whom. Today, if you're in Orlando, which a lot of my people who are watching are, or in America, it's tonight here at 12:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. Tonight we're going to walk through step by step in chronological order. We're using their own words, their own documents and patterns that everyone familiar with Ponzi scheme will recognise immediately. If you're an investor, this is about protecting yourself and asking the right questions. If you're watching from the outside, this is a real-time case study of what a financial collapse looks like before authorities step in. And as I've said many times, we literally have 6 government agencies working on this case. No one believes me, but it's true because I'm the one feeding them information. And if you're connected to this operation in any way, now is the moment where transparency matters more than spin. So let's go through the facts, let's follow the money, and let's the evidence speak for itself. Now, this is my website, and on my website you'll find this is blog number 23. I just have to have a quick look to refresh in my memory. But we've done 23 hard-hitting videos exposing Goliath Ventures from the start. We have even added a button on my website, which is a little bit abnormal and maybe over the top, but we're a dog with a bone, and we're not letting this one go until these guys are behind bars. If you go through and read you will see Christopher smoozing with a lot of people. Yes, that is Kash Patel, the director of the FBI. Chris managed to pay $200,000 to $250,000 to be, can't take that phone call now, my friend, to be at the White House on Fentanyl Day and then claim later on that he was there for Crypto Day. anyway, that is the sort of things you'll see. Obviously, we know that he's schmoozing with people with money. They've got the flash cars. But if you come down to the very bottom here, after going past all the Learjets and all the people in Canada that he's now recruiting, you'll see that we've got all these blogs mentioned down the bottom. I don't think you really want me to take your phone call now, my friend. I'm just going to have to message that person, and I could put everything on. I am live, and I will give them the link, and I will make sure that person knows I'm live so they can watch in and maybe enter into the chat room. Nice to see you all here. Hope the sound's sounding all right. Here we go. This is good. So anyway, as I said, we have done, I think, 22 blogs to date, and you'll see that we've covered every aspect. Also, one of the biggest ones that you really want to have a look out for is when you go to my YouTube channel, you actually see that I have actually added a very important video which is embedded in this blog that you're about to see. And this is this video here and this video here is basically condemns everything they say. They in here, listen to these claims. This is funny. They're telling everyone they're not a private equity fund, and in here what they do is talk about the private equity fund. It's quite funny. But anyway, if you listen to this,
with the underwriters at the insurance companies who are like, okay, we've never seen this before. Yeah. You have to take us through every single piece.
So they were claiming this investment wasn't backed by insurers. Now, this investment isn't backed by insurance because no one's that stupid to back a crypto company that claims they're doing crypto mining, crypto liquidity pool swaps, high-risk investments. It's absolutely ridiculous that they claim they have an insurer. In fact, when you sign the document, did you notice the very last line? If you want information about the insurance company, please email us. It wasn't even in the contract. It's ridiculous. So in here, this video, it talks about the insurer. It talks about what they've got you covered for. But since this video and since I've started reporting, they've actually shut down the company in Florida, which is absolutely amazing. But this video is a video that somebody watched the other day, who one of my Avengers, and they said they couldn't believe this video was online. And I said, that's because the Avengers managed to get a copy of this in-house video and put it online. So do take 1 hour and 47 minutes of your life out and have a listen to this video.
Wants to show you next, but like, what's the glide path of money? What are the securities in place? What are they actually doing? So our knowledge had to be top tier to even get them to look at us, let alone get underwriters to actually put together full insurance policies for them.
Full insurance policy for Goliath Ventures investors. Have you got a copy of that insurance policy? You will be blown away if you watch that video. Alrighty, so what have we got? Okay, so we're getting intel in as we speak about Vince, and Vince is one of the people that we believe is pulled out of Goliath Ventures, and we've got some intel coming in real time about Vince, which is fantastic. So let's read through this blog. This blog is not my normal blog. I'm actually quite relaxed about doing this, and you probably won't believe this, but I actually get quite nervous when going through these blogs with the intel that I have, because some of these claims are actually just, well, I don't even want to say this, but I'm going to. They're too good to be true. I can't believe some of the intel that we received over the last few days. And I'm going to try reading it myself, but I do want to go through the images that we've got and the people in there. So we've got, I don't even know his name, the big rapper. He come along to the event. All these people and all these photos are people that we are now putting on our persons of interest list. Anyone that hasn't been keeping up with current events, and they haven't realized that Christopher is running a large-scale Ponzi scheme, really need to check with reality, because it was actually a big slap in the face to everybody that has been helping me fight this. We have been pleading with law enforcement to say, why don't you arrest Christopher at the event and make a stand or a show of why this sort of activity shouldn't carry on. It absolutely disgusts me. It upsets me, the fact that they can blow allegedly $5 million on an event and pull this stunt off using investors' money when the investors are not getting them paid. There, in this blog that we're about to go through, you will see that how this is structured. Every executive has their own LLC set up. If you go back and watch that video I just did, they instruct them to set up their own companies. That is because they are moving and shifting their liability to their executives. So their executives are now leaving. They are getting on the lifeboats. They are getting criticised by people like Tomo, who are saying you're not allowed to leave the brotherhood. People are scrubbing their social medias. All their social medias are getting locked down. I mean, what is happening right now isn't a company that is going successful. This is the moment for them to shine. You imagine you've set up a company. You've managed to give people 8% return on their investment per month. You're the biggest and the best company in the world. You're running $5 million events. And you're flying around the world in a Learjet. You're buying $4 million worth of vehicles. You're buying 5 properties in Florida. You bought 2 properties in Dubai. One, allegedly, we've heard, is worth $20 million. And now you're scrubbing your social media. Why would you be doing that? Why are you not answering myself? You've offered me $150,000 to remove my videos, Christopher. You've threatened my life with Tomo. He's going to cause me grievous bodily harm. And this is your time to shine if you are a legitimate company, not your time to scrub the internet. So these photos are people who have ignored those warnings. These people are fair game. Myself and the Avengers will be going through all these photos that we're seeing on social media. Is this why they've shut down their social media? So that we can't find all these individuals who think nothing is wrong, who are hoping that their investments are too good to be true and will continue. What do you think is going to happen over the next few months? All these people that are benefiting from Christopher's spending all the money like it's water on show-off events to claim success. All the clawbacks are going to happen. Companies are going to be frozen. So let's get into this blog and let me tell you how relaxed I feel about reading this one out. This is like the icing on the cake. This blog documents what appeared to be rapidly unfolding financial collapse at the centre of Goliath Ventures Inc., a company that has promised investors I just have to stop that from doing it. It's distracting me. A company that has promised investors regular, reliable payouts while publicly projecting stability, compliance, and extraordinary success. Despite written assurances that on the 15th to 18th payout cycle would include October catch-ups, so they're already behind by 2 months, November payouts, and all outstanding balances. So that's for people who want to take out dividends, right? What about people who want to take out their principal and get out of this Ponzi scheme? Investors now have entered the promised window with no independent confirmation of any payments. We have not received any word of any payments as of yet. And I believe if anyone is going to get paid, it's the executives in Goliath, and then they'll have to hand that money down to their sponsors. So at the moment, I believe they'll be telling all their downloads they have to keep their money on the platform and consolidate it, because that'd be the wise choice. And they'll probably be enticing you higher percentage payouts so that you don't demand to have your money back. Don't fall for it, guys. No transparency and growing silence from leadership. Are you getting the answers you want? Or are they too busy having parties and drinking wine like there's no tomorrow? I think there was a guy called Prince who talked about 1999. Maybe that song should come back into effect. At the same time, social media accounts are being scrubbed. Yeah, why would you remove all your content from your social media? Come on, guys, wake up. Executives are distancing themselves. Company jurisdictions are shifting. As I said, they've already shut the company down in Florida. Does your contract have Goliath Ventures Inc. in it? Was it signed before September the 3rd, 2025? Well, that contract is now void. It doesn't make any sense because that company's shut down. You're not allowed to trade when you shut down the company. And to knock it all off, the CEO is reportedly leaving the United States for Dubai. What follows is not speculation or opinion, but a structured explanation of verified records, leaked internal recordings, whistleblower testimonials, and payment flows. Intelligent that raises serious questions about where investors' monies have gone. Now, I could say a few words wrong here because I'm dyslexic and I'm preferring to read it lately. It's good for my reading skills. Who is actually controlling the payouts? Have you ever thought about that? No, we managed to freeze a bank account that had $100 million worth of transactions, and that was with the Bank of America. Also, that's the second bank account with the Bank of America, and we're wondering why they're still being able to trade money, and some people are getting money out, but we've figured it out. And why individuals, not the company, appear to be sending funds through their personal LLC companies. That's what they've been doing. So as a secret video that they're trying to get us removed says, every person that was an executive now had to set up their own company. So they've broken Goliath Ventures into multiple companies. And each of those companies are responsible for paying their downline. Look like a pyramid now? Doesn't sound like investment opportunity? This is just crazy. This blog also includes analysis of a leaked February the 25 executive event that Goliath Ventures never attended to see publicly, and that's the video I'm talking about. A record that explicitly explains the very structure now coming into question. If you are an investor, a regulator, journalist, that's me, or concerned observer, read carefully. The patent documented below, I can't even read that word.
Jurisdiction hopping.
Jurisdiction hopping from Philando to, I can't even say it right, to Wyoming. Internal fund recycling, pressure to avoid withdrawals, and leadership fights are not random. Flights? I don't think I should read this. They are hallmarks. I can't read it, so I'm just going to do what I do normally and then get into it.
They are hallmarks repeatedly seen in financial collapses just before regulatory intervention.
Right. Jason Derulo, that's the rapper. I couldn't remember a rock star's name. That's like saying I can't remember Elvis Presley's name. Okay, so let's get into it. Sorry about my reading, guys. So December the 15th, 18th payouts missed. Where is the money is the big question. The payout window is live. This is where everyone should be saying, I got my money. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, I haven't heard anything yet. Yet transparency around payments is, I can't even read that word. Why do I use big words in my own blog?
Conspicuously absent.
Yes. This is repeatedly, especially alarming, even that Goliath Ventures Inc. told investors in writing just a few days ago. So this is the crutch. So you can go to that letter and you can click on it and you can actually read the letter where Christopher sent it out. Now, this is one of many letters that we've scrutinised. This time it's all in Arial font and it was spaced correctly after giving them criticising for inconsistent newsletters. And if you really want to, you can go to past issues and you can read the past issues. Now, they also deleted all their past issues newsletters, but we have them all, just in case you're wondering. But if you want to know, at the moment, when crypto lost $380 billion in one day, the biggest crash ever, you think that they would be doing newsletters every 10 minutes to calm the farm. When you purchase an item off Amazon, you get email every day afterwards. This company doesn't even want to talk to us investors. But this is what they said in their letter, if you read through it. We're fully back to our regular rhythm, whatever rhythm that is. And the December the 15th, 18th cycle will include everything owed to you. Now, this is interesting. We didn't know about October catch-ups, November payouts, and everything moving forward on normal schedule. Now, in that letter, he also talks about people who can withdraw their principal. If you want to get out of here, withdraw your principal. Don't take out more money than you've paid in, no matter if you think you're riding on the pig's back. Now, the problem is, I've got my sound system working today. As my dear mother would say, no one's talking about the elephant in the room. Read it again. October catch-ups, November payouts, everything owed, normal schedule. Okay, so we're in that payment window. Bring it on, Chris. Let's see all the money. Let's watch how the money's travelling. I've done a bit of investigation in my time, And good investigators always say, follow the money. Well, these days, you don't actually follow the money. You go to where the money is and you go backwards, because crypto breaks it all up into washing machine cycles and we lose a lot of track of where the money these days is. But now we can go back and we can track it through the LLC companies that they were told to set up in the secret video. We can understand it's going to be a lot easier to track the money because we've got all the executives in this very letter. Now, what we need to do is get all the investigations that are happening, the 6 different government departments that are investigating, including one extra in Canada, which I haven't talked about, and they can go through those individuals and they can check out their companies and see, what are they doing with the money? AMA rules, money laundering. Are they handling money that isn't theirs for other parties? These are the questions I would be sweating about. So, and yet today, the beginning of the payment cycle, payments as described, there is no confirmations of payments. So we're doubling up a little bit. So this is the real big thing. Their Facebook, their Instagram, their YouTube account, all linked to Goliath Ventures and their leadership team have been scrubbed. Work that out, guys. Why would any company who has done work with charities, boasted about handshakes with Kalpesh Patel, Donald Trump, Eric Trump, the Speaker of the House, Michael Johnson, everyone who's famous, they've been jumping in photos and getting photos and put it on their social media. Now, all the executives have made all their Instagram accounts private. So if you go to Goliath Ventures Instagram, you will see one image. And if you click on who they are following, it will go after 20 other people. And just last night, I decided to send a message and post a comment on each of those 20 people who are following. And I think they're actually trying to throw people under the bus by linking to people, which is quite interesting. But go have a look yourself. Why would a company do that? Now, remember, this company's at their peak at the moment. They're at their maximum performance. What are they? Ooh, maybe I'm going to miss out. Maybe they have got the next Bitcoin up their sleeve. Who knows? Now, executives are quietly distancing themselves. Now, we've got some intel. We've got intel coming in on Vince. Now, he's one of the executives that scrubbed Goliath Ventures from his presence and everything. Also, if you go to his Calendly account, he's removed the description where he was taking appointments for people who are interested in Goliath Ventures. So people will say to me, oh, the Calendly account's still working. I go, yeah, I know that. But if you were to go to my website and click on, whoops, why isn't that working? Click on appointments, it will take you off to Calendly. And with Calendly, what you normally had was you had Express Chat, and I have a description. And when you click on that, it takes you off to a more elaborate, where do I get this here? Yeah, so you get more of an elaborate description about what you're actually booking me for. So that there with Vince has all been removed. So he now just takes appointments, which I did manage to book one with him. Hopefully it's actually about now. Maybe he's watching me. Who knows? Hey, Vince, don't know. But anyway, what I'm saying, all that's been scrubbed. So this is the part here.
Vince Gratter has removed Goliath Ventures Incorporated from his social media and business profiles.
Yeah, so if you went to Goliath Ventures, and you clicked on About Us and you went to our team, he's still in here, where he was a few minutes ago. There he is there, in Partner Services. And also notice if you clicked on his LinkedIn here, it would actually it doesn't work. So I'm just going to flip a screen just while I go into my LinkedIn so I don't condemn people. I have half a Pakistani providing me information on Ponzi schemes and scams. And sometimes I've gone into my LinkedIn profile and just about killed people, literally. So if you go to Vince's, LinkedIn profile, you can see he's a Remax. And this is what they did. They went into a lot of real estate companies and got their communities and got these guys who have got a good network of people around them. And we found a lot of people from realtors actually were promoting Ponzi schemes and scams. So he's in Canada, and just recently we've done a lot of, 2 blogs ago we talked about how Canada are now being pitched Goliath Ventures, and they've been offered 8% return in Canada. And I believe that's because they're bleeding money. So they're putting a too good to be true opportunity out there for investors and just basically rinse and repeat and trying to build those networks up. Now, I believe that Vince might actually be a good guy, and I'm hoping that he's going to come forward. And I don't even know, he could already, I have heard rumours that they have warned him not to go to the FBI. But he could have already gone to the FBI. I don't know. But we would welcome you, Vince, if you want to become a whistleblower. We would even offer you protection through our people. So if you go here, you can see that he doesn't actually mention anything anymore about Goliath Ventures, and he did previously. I wish I kept it. Actually, I think I did. I might have a look at this later on. I think I took a copy of his... I think I did take a copy. I might have done. I can't look right now, but I can look right now. I might just have a sneaky wee look to see if I have actually managed, because we've been doing with our persons of interest list. I'll put that video on so you can see the videos while I'm just checking something here. So if I go to my persons of interest list and I go into Goliath Ventures and I go into Vince, we were actually taking timestamps of people's LinkedIn profiles so we could see when they were updating them. Where's Vince gone? Come on, Vince. I know you're here somewhere. Have I updated your picture? I might have updated your picture. I'll do a search for him in my database. Vince. Here he is. Did we take a... no, I didn't. Oh, what a pain. So I can't go back and find his timeline. Actually, what I can do, though, is I can go to his LinkedIn, Instagram. Let's go to his Instagram. I'll just bring this up in a second. Okay, so his Instagram isn't available anymore. And that was the Instagram that we had. So the link may be broken or the profile may have been removed. So this is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it works. So any information on Vince...
Vince Gratter.
Vince Gratter, I feel sorry for him because I've had a good look through his social media in the past. He's a family man. He's got kids. And I'm sure that some people have just gotten too deep with this Goliath Ventures thing and now they want out. But then you've got people like a giant policeman of 12 years, Tomo, trying to threaten people into staying in the Brotherhood or else and then being cast outside the circle. Boy, that sounds like a religious cult to me. Christopher Diego heading to Dubai. So why is Christopher heading to Dubai? Why isn't he staying around? I have heard other rumours that he's too scared to set foot in Orlando, going to prestigious nightclubs, and Christopher is not wanting to hang around Orlando because people are getting angry that they haven't been paid. So it's safer for him to go to Dubai. And also, he's got connections in Dubai already. And just my opinion, but I'm pretty sure I'm right, I believe that he is a puppet on a string and he's working for cartel-style networks from Dubai. And Christopher's just been thrown under the bus to promote these opportunities to wealthy investors and build up money for those cartel networks that are based in Dubai. We know this because he was connected to my liquidity partners. And we know that one of his colleagues or associates actually got 24 months in prison. So no longer, this is no longer a delay. This is contradiction, disappearance, and flight. I think those three words were said correctly.
Contradiction, disappearance, and flight.
Oh my God, I got it right. The jurisdiction shell game. Goliath Ventures was originally registered in Florida, a profit corporation operating in the state of Florida. The Florida entity was voluntarily dissolved in, what do they call it? Inactivated on the 3rd of September 2025. Now, you may think you've heard that before, but some people are watching my videos and going, I didn't know that. How can somebody like this throw a party so well, have rock stars come along and sing on the stage and everyone have a fantastic time, and then you realise the company that you're invested in doesn't even have a company in Florida. And that's maybe why they're in Miami. Why did they go to Miami for their Christmas party when they're based in Florida? All these questions are coming out. It was registered in Wyoming, a jurisdiction known for minimal disclosure, shell-friendly structures, and no visible officers or staff. So why would you open a company up in Wyoming if you don't have any presence? And why does Wyoming, every time we're busting the scam with My Avengers, every time, it's always, when they say Wyoming, we laugh because it's the slackers, they don't want any accountability. They don't want you to come back and sue them. As I did at the very start, we went through their own contract. And I've always said their own contract will be the sword that they fall on. Now that contract isn't void. The contract that you have, guys, and you're getting payouts from shouldn't be paying you out money because that company has been dissolved. Shut down, gone, kaput. I can't go and open up a company in New Zealand and call it Rumpelstiltskins and then go open one in Australia called Rumpelstiltskins and then carry on business, and then all the contracts that I've signed would be void. There are no known operations in operation offices in Wyoming. I'm not reading that right, but I don't think it matters. Now with payouts failing and scrutiny increases, the CEO is reporting leaving US entirely. So why is Chris going to live in Dubai? He's got family in California. Do you know what? He just had an outing with his family. Yes, his ex-wife and his children. He's got 3 children, one on the spectrum, and they went to Mexico. You know what I think it was? It was goodbye. Next time we see, I'll have to send you over to Dubai to see me because I can't come back to the US. It was him saying his goodbyes to his family and his children, shouting them to Mexico. And you know what? He had his brothers with him. Tomo was there. Alex was there. Every time Chris is anywhere with the purse strings, all the little wee executives come along with him. And it's so sad to see. I'm sure Chris has got some good tendencies because that's how he's managed to grow this Ponzi scheme. But he said his goodbyes to his family in Mexico. And now he's going to live in Dubai with your money. What are you going to do about it? I hope you're going to do something about it. Don't sit here watching my videos. Start going to the FBI. Rather than threatening to go to the FBI so you get your dividends, not your principal, do something about it. Ask yourself, why would the CEO of a supposedly thriving US company be running to Dubai right now? Every time he lands back in his private airport, he must be sweating like a rapist, waiting for the Homeland Security, the FBI, to be sitting there to arrest him. One day that will happen, Chris, and I will be coming over to Fiando, Florida, and I will be sitting there coming to visit you. I promise I will get to Florida and I will be in Florida when you are locked up. I'm going to come and visit. I've already had offers of fantastic accommodation by some of the most amazing people. Anyway, passport warning and signs. Now, this is something you wouldn't have heard before. We have verified information that multiple executive partners have issued their families with passports and they have them ready at hand. Some claim it's for holidays, but this behavior is not normal. Not on payday, not during payout failures, not while social media is being scrubbed, not while leadership is exiting jurisdictions. This is a well-documented pre-collapse pattern. Now, I've heard that a family has got themselves their passports ready. Other family members have said, why have you guys got passports? And they said, oh, we're going on a cruise or something like that. Come on, guys. Why are these executives arming their family with passports? They're off to Dubai with your money. Are you going to sit there and do nothing? Did you see in Australia yesterday, the day before, there was a guy shooting people. I think 15 people dead. I think 19 people injured. A guy ran up and grabbed the guy who had a rifle and wrestled it off him and then got shot in the hand and got shot in the chest. He is a hero. He did something. He got out there, 15 people dead. I'm pretty sure it's 15 people. And 19 people, I think it's 29 people. Now, I live in Christchurch, New Zealand. 51 people got killed in a mosque by a shooter. And eventually, the police chased this guy down. He went to one mosque, and then he went to another mosque, and then he was on the way to a place called Ashburton to go to another mosque, and these policemen managed to drive him off the road and disarm him. What are you doing about these criminals? Do you know people who are connected and you've decided to keep quiet? In this very blog that I'm doing, there is a way you can communicate with me totally anonymous. You download Signal. When it asks you for your name, you can create any name you want. A nice spunky one, something that to do with James Bond would be quite good. And you can communicate with me completely anonymous. and I'll give you the link at the bottom of this blog. So we do know a lot of the stuff we're telling you, but we can't go public unless we can verify the facts. We try to make sure we get everything right. So how are payouts appear to be actually working? Why is it so hard? I shut down 2 bank accounts. Well, my team of Avengers do. I'd not take the credit for that. But 2 bank accounts of Bank of America have been shut down. Next minute, Christopher comes out telling everyone that the Bank of America can't grow at the same rate his company is growing, and he's switching banks. Doesn't tell you the name of the banks. We think it could be Luminous, but anyway. So then we managed to shut down these 2 accounts, but then he keeps on trading. We figured it out though, didn't we? Based on multiple independent sources, this is how we believe the payouts inside Goliath Ventures are structured. Now, if you know this and you're sitting on your hands and you are waiting for this to fall over to see what happens, and you've got intel, please give it to us, because it will speed up the process. We didn't want to see them blow another $5 million on a bloody friggin' dinner, even though people who were there, and we know we had insiders there, by the way. We know it was one hell of a party. Okay, so the company does not appear to pay investors directly, but blow it. Instead, executive partners receive well, this is how it works. So the executive partners actually receive a list once a month, often in USDT, telling them how much to pay people who have invested. So their bottom line, they all add up how much money is owed everybody, and each executive will get a list in USDT that these people are owed. They are instructed to send funds themselves to their downlines. So your upline is the person that you want to be friends with, because he is the guy that's bartering with Christopher and begging to get payments so he can pay you. That's how they've structured this company. They're instructed to send funds themselves. Payouts go only to the people they personally recruited. So that's a pyramid. But anyway, that doesn't really matter. We just want you to know that's how come. So if you've got a big recruiter who's like got a massive pyramid, then you're probably more vulnerable than somebody that can shut up. But what did my mum always say? Other than just the elephant in the room, the squeaky door gets the oil. Payments go through people they personally recruited. Payments come from their personal LLCs. So even though you might be getting paid in crypto, the money that they're dividending up is coming into these LLC companies, not from Goliath Ventures Inc. The structure that they're using shields the main entity. So that's why Chris is probably taking a wee while to get knocked out. People keep on ringing me up going, oh, can you tell me if you got anything from the feds? And I go, oh, look, it's very slow. It's horrible watching these government departments work, but they're doing their best they can with the resources they have. So this shields the main identity. What's that word? That's a good word.
Obscures.
Obscures the true source of the funds. So no one can really figure out where the money is, but we can. Recycles money internally. So it's just like a washing machine effect, really, isn't it? Creates the illusion of dividends. So people think they're getting paid from Goliath Ventures Inc., but they're not really. They're getting paid by an individual company. Is that legal? I don't know. I don't think it is. Who's actually getting paid? Here's the most confronting part. We do not believe regular investors are getting paid. We do not believe most executive partners are being paid either. No, we don't. The rumours are that some executive partners may have received their payments, which we have had proof of, but even that now appears to be inconsistent. Inconsistent and disputed? So we're getting mixed reports, but we do know that the flow of money isn't flowing. It's more, clumpy. If anyone is receiving money at this stage, it appears to be only people at the very top. And even that system looks like it's breaking down. Obviously with Vince, who is at the very top. Tomo, with the Goliath Strong hashtag, post strong suggested internal pressure. I can't even read those words. I don't know why. I know instability.
Internal pressure, fractures, and instability.
Yeah, so we've got instability inside the internet network. Now, doesn't that, at the top of the pyramid is getting shaky, that's not a good look. This is what collapse looked like in real time. It's actually quite exciting watching. Every day I get new intel in, and I just want to get online. Like today, this was actually going to be a LinkedIn update, and I decided I had help from my Avengers, and we looked at this, and I said, look, I've got to put this out as a blog. So this whole blog is actually a LinkedIn post gone crazy. But look, the crash versus the promise. In October, listen to this, in October, over $380 billion was wiped out in the crypto market in a single day. Christopher responded with a 12-minute webinar telling everyone to calm the farm and insisting Goliath Ventures Inc. was not effective. You've got a company here that claims on their websites to have 3 income streams. Crypto mining, no proof ever. Liquidity pools and liquidity trading, which I believe leveraged trading is what he's actually been doing. And we did a blog about that, about how Andrew Tate, yes, one of his buddies, lost $1 million in a heartbeat and never will get that money back. Now, if Christopher was doing the same type of trading as Andrew Tate, oh, thank you very much, coffee time, then it wouldn't be surprised that Christopher's actually already lost all the money. However, we've had experts look at what we're doing, and they've come up with a theory where the money is, and we'll tell you in a minute. So on the 3rd of December, the investors were promised October catch-ups, November payouts, everything owed, and normal schedule. But remember, in October, there was a massive crash of crypto. So since then, no confirmed payments, social media wiped, executives distanced himself, and the CEO heading to Dubai. Does that sound familiar to you? It does to me. Words no longer matter. Only bank statements do. So where's the money? Remember, this company's just held an event. You know, look at this. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at these photos and I'm going, look at these guys here. We've got Jason Derulo, I hope I'm saying that right, is sitting here. Christopher's out here getting photos of all these people. You know, it's just, he's even trying to strangle this lady. I have heard some ladies have been having some rough time. We should ring her up. I've got her phone number and she's been messaging us. She doesn't want me to message anymore. But one hell of a party. And here he is, all these people who are now persons of interest, all you suckers that went along to this evening and thought that you would be part of the celebrations of Goliath. And you've just was that? That wasn't, oh no, I thought that was Romy. I mean, you've just what you've done, guys, is you've now put yourself in the bus with all the scammers. I mean, this is crazy. And we've also been researching our rapper here. And in Wikipedia, if you go check out the rapper and you read all about him, you'll actually see that he's actually been accused of promoting crypto investments in the past. I can't remember the exact word, but I'll have a wee look and see if I can actually find that in a hurry. But I thought that was quite interesting. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. I think we've got... All right, so if we go to... so this is Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo.
Right, and if you go down to... I don't know whereabouts we've got that. Has been involved in numerous. Let's have a look. Has been. Let's see. We've got 4 of those. So let's have a look at 4 being. Where are we? All right. So this is one line of his Wikipedia. He's got more of a Wikipedia page than I have. So let's have a listen.
Derulo has been involved in numerous cryptocurrency ventures that have been described as scams or rug pulls. 109, 110.
Right, so we can look at the references of that. So 109, and so now we can go into that. This is a rapper who's just sung it.
Sex efforts to curb celebrity crypto meme coins rug pulls could fade under Trump.
Well, let's hope. So if I look under there and look for Jason... what have we got? Jason. So I'm not going to read the whole lot because we're reading something else.
Upon investigating the pump and dumps of celebrity meme coins like Soulja Boy and even Jason Derulo, Bayman found that a mysterious holder, Sal Aurora, was dumping a huge portion of the meme coins shortly after launch.
Yeah, so so obviously they are involved. I'll just read this first part here.
As Feynman expanded his investigation last year, Aurora divulged sensitive information about his interactions and contracts with celebrities. The details revealed that many celebrities, like Jason Derulo, were aware of the pre-planned crypto rug pulls despite publicly claiming never to sell their meme coin holdings.
So I've just received a message saying he was also, and this isn't my words, but somebody just, Queen of Karma, I'll put you under the bus. He's been sued for harassment in the past. You know, I mean, you know, you can't believe everything you read on meme coin. So this is another one here. So, you know, there's no surprise that there's, you know, it's, what have we got here? Jason, I'll just read this stuff here.
On June 23rd, less than a month after the $sign Jenna scam, the singer-songwriter Jason Derulo posted the message "Let me take you dancing" on X, punctuated by a fire emoji. Followers were directed to the address for $sign Jason, his newly minted meme coin on Pump Fun.
Right. Those guys must have more money than Balk and shit, and you kind of wonder why they risk everything. I mean, the guys are fantastic. What have we got here? We got a heckler in here, Danny the Heckler. Goliath helps more people and companies than you power wranglers forever. Okay, good on you, mate. You're all part of. Good on you. So that's good. So we've got a heckler in here, have we? Well, that'd be quite cool. I like hecklers. All right, so let's get into it. Let's carry on reading the blog. Where has the money gone? Rightio. So this is where we believe the money that is gone, because I personally believe, and it's my opinion, and I'm entitled to any opinion I want, and I can tell you what my opinion is, that the money is all gone. And Matt Burke, the independent auditor, who's now merged in and part of the executive teams of Goliath Ventures, has said numerous times, and in their newsletters that have now been deleted, that we have a copy of. Let me just show you some stuff here. Right, so this is important. So if I go to Ponzi schemes and scams, I haven't got them in there. Go to Americans. This is my Americans that I believe should be persons of interest. These are not all collectively tied to. This is my database, guys. This is the database that's shared by 7 different government agencies in 6 different countries. If I go persons of interest and I click on Goliath Ventures, these are all the people of persons of interest. These are not my whistleblowers. They're in a separate database. But these are people that we believe are, involved in Goliath Ventures. This is my file on Christopher. And I'm sure his lawyers are right now trying to take as many screenshots as they want. There's nothing too incriminating in here. But there is something else I wanted to show you. Oh, that was here. So these are the 4 companies that Christopher has been part of in a scam. Now, my liquidity partners is basically a mirror image of Goliath Ventures Inc. And that's where it all started. Now, my liquidity partners have actually already been through SEC and been one guy that was running that with Christopher, been locked up for 2 years. That's right. He got given back his passport to go do some business in Dubai, and I think he evaded prison time. We've got no proof he's been incarcerated, but that's what the story goes. If you go into Goliath Ventures Inc., and then you go into emails, oops, not that one. We go into emails. Oh, that's wrong. Hold it, screenshots. It's always dangerous when I'm doing this, especially when I know that everything I'm doing right now has been recorded by Christopher's lawyers, who have offered me $150,000 to take down this information so I don't expose a $500 million company. Screenshots, PDFs, emails. Whereabouts are my emails? Have I not got them in here? Why have I not got them in there, Danny? That's a bit hopeless. Let's go back to persons of interest. Maybe I've got them all under Christopher PDFs. Oh, no, well, all the newsletters. We've got all the newsletters. That's what I'm trying to do. I just don't know why I didn't have them. I don't even know why I need to prove that to people. Screenshots, PDFs, persons of interest, images, founders, markets. Where's all my emails? Recordings, investors, screenshots, PDFs. It says I've only got 3. Oh, no, 32 files. Oh, there we go. So all the newsletters that they've ever published to all their investors, we have the whole lot. I don't know, sorry about that. But, so in here, one of these newsletters, which I don't know which one, but if I have to find it, I will. We'll use it in the court case. Matt Burke says that at all times, they have 115% of investors' funds available. That was the independent audit by Matt Burke. Matt Burke, well, here he is. Come here. And Matt Burke is a parish, and he works. He was a parish, and then they scrubbed him from the website as well because he was bringing reproach against, in my old world, reproach against Jehovah. Hey, where are you, Matt Burke? Oh, there he is. So Matt Burke here was an independent auditor, head of compliance. Now he works for the company. This guy is going to jail. This guy is going to jail. He's a fitness trainer. $350,000 Lamborghini he drives around in now. Even if he took all the money out of his bank account and invested in Goliath Ventures, he wouldn't have enough money to buy a Lamborghini. He's definitely getting backhanders from being an executive and throwing himself. Nick, well, he's what we believe 50% partner with Christopher. Now, Nick had a company that, I don't know, they sold. Now, Christopher claims that he's had 2 companies that have been listed publicly, and that's where he got his money from. And then he invested his money. So if you can find it for me, I'd really love you to find this. Find the 2 companies that Christopher claims he owns. We've got a podcast with Christopher saying that he listed 2 companies publicly, got a shit ton of money, and then invested it in who? His own company, Goliath Ventures Inc. And he made a ton of money using his own company, which was really my liquidity partners. This is all alleged coming from Chris's mouth, not me. And now, the funny thing is, it was so good, he decided to open up his own company to let his friends invest. He had a private liquidity fund. He's renamed it because of legal reasons. But now he's opened up that company to others. And that's how this Goliath Venture thing's got so much traction. But what do you really think is happening with the money? Well, let me tell you what I believe. One theory raised by industry insiders is that the funds were deployed into a high-risk ETH liquidity pool paired with alt auctions and meme tokens. Whew. The positions that were widely... I have to read this. I just have to read this, make sure I get it right.
Positions that were widely damaged in October, if true, and if those positions were not exited in time, it would explain why a significant portion of capital may no longer be liquid or available for withdrawals.
So all the money has gone. That's a theory because I'm trying to be PC, but that's exactly what I believe has happened. Now, others have raised concerns that investors' funds may have been reused for unrelated ventures, including mining operations or leverage trading, which would further increase the risk of now that's buggered, isn't it?
Volatility.
Work it out, guys. So he's on a cruise ship with Andrew Tate. Let me show you. I've got so much evidence here that it's just ridiculous. So let's go to Andrew Tate. Let's have a look. It is him and his cruise ship. So here they are, all on the cruise ship. And if you look through here really carefully, I've done this a few times, so I'm just going to go. I think it's number 13. 13, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. Oh, let's go here. We'll pause it right at the right time. 17. Boom. Oh, I'm good at that now. So there's Christopher and Tomo and also the other guy, Mike. So there's 3 people from Goliath Ventures. Do you know where they are? They're on 3 super yachts with 50 other guys. Now, this video was used to promote the War Room. The War Room. This is where people who think they're above the law have started up a thing called the War Room. And if you go in here, you can find men that don't want their faces on the internet. Now, this is the club. Now, Tomo reckons he's now an approved motivational speaker for the War Room. But Christopher and Mike were on this now, if you know anything about Andrew Tate, he used to be a kickboxer. And this looks like something you would see in a movie. So that's Andrew Tate there. They all sit around smoking cigars and doing all that sort of stuff. And you can have a look at these sort of photos, but you're just going to look at men with blurry faces. So if you go back to my blog, and I don't know if we need to do this, but I can't help myself. And if you really want to get into this and you're really thinking Danny doesn't know what he's talking about, well, you're full of shit if you think I don't know what I'm talking about. I've spent 70 to 80 hours a week going after these guys. This is one of the biggest, well, this has to be well, it's not the biggest, actually, but it's a big scam that I've been going after. But if you go down to, now what am I trying to show you guys here? We are trying to show you something of interest. I've forgotten. I got so excited. What are we trying to show you? We're trying to show you, oh, that's right, Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate. There it is. So Andrew Tate, we've got a whole blog dedicated on what Andrew Tate did to lose $1 million and leverage trading. So we've gone through this whole blog and it's with Hyperliquid. And you go through here and you read all about it. You can see the breakdown of how Andrew Tate lost around about, I think it was $984,000, nearly $1 million, on the 18th of November. Now, are you telling me that Christopher just happened to be on a cruise ship with 50 other guys that don't want their faces on camera, enjoying the good old times? Have a look at this. In the war room, being lectured to by all these men on how to run a proper business. There's Tomo, and there they all are. And then they go out to a gangster dinner. Let's have a look at the gangster dinner. There they are. Oh, a bit blurry there. Got pretty woman. That's Christopher going around circles on his jet ski. Oh, look at us having a great old time. And then they get dressed up and they all go out for a lovely dinner at what looks like a prison, which I don't know how they probably feel at home there. Well, they will feel at home there soon. There they are. There's Tomo. And behind him was Mike. And in here, there was only one frame where we could get a clear vision on Christopher. So what is Christopher doing with all these gangster-style people? And then we find out what he's been doing with the money. Now, if he's been shadowing what Andrew Tate has done with leverage trading, your money's gone. However, I won't call him that stupid because he didn't get where he did today by not doing some clever stuff. So what we're insinuating here is that he's doing crypto trading. And when the big $380 billion crash happened in November, Christopher lost all his money and he couldn't recover it. And we believe now what he's done, he's gone to Canada and he's offering people 8% return, rinse and repeating what he's done in Florida. And he's now trying to get into Canada and probably the UAE, hence why he's off to Dubai, trying to get investors in here. Because every now and again he gets a real big whale and they chuck a whole ton of money into Christopher and Goliath, and that gives him enough money to keep paying people until he thinks he can pull this off. So that's what he's doing. Now, Vince, Canadian. Why would a Canadian throw the towel in and not want anything to do with it? These guys, we have heard from their friends that they believe this is a Ponzi scheme and a scam. So the same executives in the company believe it's a scam. They know what they're doing. So let's just carry on reading here before I get my hopes.
Others have raised concerns that investor funds may have been reused for unrelated ventures, including mining operations or leverage trading, which would further increase risk and volatility.
I'm getting threats in the chat room today, so it's got to be good. Thanks very much. I hope I did read. I can't read all the comments, and I haven't been keeping up with the comments. But some of the comments are saying that I hope Chris has got me a place in Dubai as well. So you can watch the comments in the chat room. By all means, if you are first time here, do make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It does help me get the message out, and I do get a little bit of money. I get $300. If you are subscribed, it really does help. If you can't afford to support me by donating or doing a super chat, hey, look, and if you are watching this, I do have a goal. I have 5 super chats, and I'm going to start a goal. If you want to donate to me, I can't. It doesn't work, unfortunately. I can't ask you for money. I'm just going to actually see if I can actually get that going because, supporting me in what I do really is actually nice. I don't know. I'll drink beer. Ask me what I'll do with the money. And let's start a goal. Is that going to work? It did. There we go. I got a bit of a goal going, I think. Yay, well done. Anyway, so if you do subscribe to my YouTube channel, like I always say, I get Sadie. to come and clean your window screen. She doesn't get paid anything either. She's a donator. And we do have a lot of volunteers wanting to replace her, but I think she's doing a lovely job and she'll clean your computer screen. So let's get stuck into it. Others have raised concerns that investors' funds may have been raised, reused, and in unrelated ventures, including mining operations, leverage trading, and which would further increase the risk of volatility. I can't even say that word. These are theories, not conclusions. So that is just my opinion of what I think they're doing, but I'm pretty clever with my opinion. And that's exactly why we need evidence. Christopher could calm the farm and provide me or anybody who's associated to me evidence and proof that the money is secured. He's made claims that 115% of investors' funds are secured, but there's no proof of that. He's made claims that he's doing crypto mining, but there's no proof of that. He's made claims that he's doing liquidity pool trades, which the returns he's offering people is mathematically impossible. He claims that he's involved in Bitcoin technologies. Well, list what you're involved in, Chris. The game is up. People haven't been paid since November, October, and now December. You're promising them it's going to be back to normal and everyone's going to get caught up in money. But in the meantime, you've also had your executive team tell people not to ask for their principal back. And you've also had your executive team in Canada go out there and tell people that they need to tell people they're going to get 8% return per month for your investment. So if you dropped in $100,000 into Delgado's Christmas fund, you would have got 3% offered 3% return. And if you let that compound, that's $60,000 return for a $100,000 investment in 12 months. So now he's saying 8% return. So what are you going to get over? You're going to get over double your money back in 12 months. Why do they want that? Because they need your money to pay the early investors. It's called a Ponzi scheme. Right, what can I say with confidence about this? Well, we have credible intel showing that some so-called dividends or profit payments did not originate from Goliath Ventures Inc. But these instead were sent directly to individuals or to their personal LLCs. This is a major red flag and consistent with internal fund recycling. The money isn't going back and forth to Goliath. The money is going back and forth to the executives, which in this video were encouraged and told they're no longer executives, but they now need to set up their own LLC companies. And they could even hire people within their companies. And they were telling people that is the way that company is going to continue. They were no longer having executives. All the executives were encouraged and told, well, not encouraged, told they have to set up their own companies, and they congratulated these people by telling them that they were now business owners. And now the liability hasn't moved. Has it moved from Christopher? Has it moved from Goliath Ventures Inc? Is that why Goliath Ventures Inc could shut down the company on the 3rd of September? Is that why the bookkeeper, Nadia Bringus, who shut down her company on the 2nd of December? You won't believe this. Can't make this shit up. So Nadia Bringus shut down her company. She was just a bookkeeper. She was managing the funds for what we believe was a $300 to $500 million Ponzi scheme. One bookkeeper. And then we find out that Nadia Bringus is actually working for Harry Samuels. Harry Samuels is the guy that sets up everyone's LLC companies. Harry Samuels set up Nadia Bringus' company in Wyoming and Christopher's. And this is how they're hiding the money. This is how they're moving the liability. The name raised repeatedly in multiple independent sources was Stephen Davis. Stephen Davis is a 20 years working for the police force. Working for the fire brigade. He has made promises to his brothers of arms that they have mortgaged their houses so they could invest in Goliath Ventures Inc. Like all good Ponzi schemes, people at the start make all the money. They squawk about it to all their friends. People have finally been dripped. A dripping tap will get fixed. And that's what they've done. They've dripped on all the brotherhood. And that Stephen Davis, a fireman, has gone back to his community and he's nagged them and told them they should invest their money in Goliath Ventures Inc. so that he can profiteer. And now all the people that are under Stephen Davis have been told to wait. Don't take out your money. Do not take out your principal. Do not worry about getting paid your dividends from November and October and November and now December, because it's all going to be made good. Meanwhile, Christopher's in a plane off to Dubai. Are you kidding me, guys? He's running a $5 million dinner or an event with rock stars that have been known to pump and dump crypto. Are you kidding me? Do you really believe Stephen Davis can handle the pressure that he's under at the moment? What about all the other executives? Look, if you haven't done it, go to the description in this video that you're watching right now. Go into the description, read the blog, go to the blog, and go and discover the video they never wanted you to see. If you are an investor and you still believe this is a legitimate operation, you must watch this video. This video, I've had 8 copyright strikes to my YouTube channel. Every single one of them has been turned back to me, and I've got the thumbs up from Google. This video that you're looking at has been copyright strike by Goliath Ventures in the past. I won the copyright strike. This video is now on the internet multiple times thanks to my Avengers, but this video is the video they don't want you to watch. Now, I've had Avengers who have come on board at the end of this saga. People who have invested in Goliath Ventures and they haven't watched this video. And I've told them you have to spend 1 hour and 47 minutes of your life and watch this video, because this tells you. And they go, how the hell did you get the video? And I said, well, don't fuck with the Avengers. We know what we're doing. This video is the video they don't want you to see, because in this video they tell you how they have been operating illegally. They tell you everything about this video is exposing the company that is actually involved.
Every single piece.
I'm not going to watch this video with you, but look at this. If we go into the more section, so this is what you do when you're watching a video. You go to the video, you open the little wee more button, and it drops down and you see all these lines. And these are all the timestamps. Hold up. Super chat. Just going to ban somebody who's trying to sell me stuff I don't want. Thank you. Right, that's good. You'll see that there for a second. But anyway, if you go down to here, you'll see at the bottom you've got chapters. And you click View All. And you view all. And now what you do is you have these chapters beside here. So if you want to, you can scroll through. This took me 2 hours to actually document every part. And listen to the, I'm just going to press play for a second.
Sell an underwriter
Right.
to insure.
Company too.
All right, here we go.
Oh, so, okay, yeah. Joint venture private fund is what, when someone says, what is Goliath? It is a joint venture private fund. That is actually what it is called, yes.
Because they don't want people to use private investment. They wanted to get rid of the word investment because they were breaking. In this video, it basically is their own sword. 39 people had viewed this video on Vimeo. 39 people. And we managed to get our hands on it. We scooped it off the internet, repackaged it and sent it out to everybody. And now in here, it talks about, the small investors. So a lot of the firemen didn't have $100,000 to put into Goliath. No. So they were told that if they didn't bump it up to $100,000, they were out. Lucky if they did get out. But what they did is they got a syndicate together and managed to raise $100,000 between them so they could stay in. And that's what they were doing. Initially, people that were investing $50,000 were getting 4% return, so I believe. Could be wrong. They were getting more. But then when they had $100,000, they were getting 3%. If they invested over $500 million, they were getting 5% return. But now, if you live in Canada, you're going to get 8% return. Okay, until the money runs out. They just drip feed your own money back to you and then use the leftover money to pay for lavished 5 houses in Florida, 2 houses in Dubai, a black Ferrari in Dubai, $1 million worth spent on the girlfriend in the last 12 months, $4 million car collection, a $5 million event dinner. All that money doesn't add up. If you're a mathematician, work out how Christopher is spending that much money when he doesn't have that much money. It doesn't actually mathematically work. 82% of people in my poll, what do you think is really happening at Goliath Ventures right now? 82%. This is a full collapse. Right. So what are you going to do about it, guys? 82% of people in this blog right now are watching this. And they have said this is a full collapse. Here's the video that you can go and look at Oh, listen to this. Now, everyone's forced to sign an NDA. Why is that?
I will spend every dollar I have, like I said before, I will spend every dollar I have to protect my company, and I will come after you in every way possible. So just follow that small step and do yourself and save yourself a headache. Got it?
So that bit statement there, Christopher was telling everyone that signs up anybody, they have to sign an NDA. Now, if the NDA does, would you believe that NDAs do not apply when you're doing illegal activities? You do not have to shut your mouth when people are doing illegal activities. NDAs do not cover illegal activities. So if you've signed an NDA and you know this is an illegal business, you can speak out. If you want to, reach out to me, of course, and I'll put you in touch with the right people. If you want to become a full-time whistleblower and save your own ass, now's the time to speak. It is really that crazy. Hey, make sure you participate with the... oh, my God. Somebody just donated $99.99. Why is it $99.99? Thank you very much. That is so nice. Thank you very much. That's very kind. I'm not here for the money, but boy, it makes a difference. You know, this is probably this is like my parade at the end of the show. I mean, you can't make this shit up. I mean, I don't need evidence. This is their video, and we've timestamped everything. Now, Christopher, as he carries on talking, listen to what he carries on saying in this. This is breathtaking.
Critical. Yeah, and from our end, they have to be background checked. That is the key. Yeah.
He just said that if you don't follow his NDA rule, he will sue you, and he has a lot of money. He doesn't have a lot of money. This guy used to work at In-N-Out Burger. This is just crazy. Okay, what else could I show you in this video to save you your precious time and not watching it? They talk about KYC and I think some of the start stuff is really amazing, though. They talk about how they how they're not compliant. Okay, so this is here they are telling you that they don't have they're not regulated, but don't let that hold you back. I think this is the part here.
But assume we're going to be regulated and go ahead and set up all of our own internal compliance systems so that the day that regulation hits, we're already fully good to go. Or if someone just knocks on the door and says, hey, what are you doing?
So here they are in their own video telling everyone that they're not regulated. The SEC would have a field day. They've already got this video, so don't worry about scrubbing it now. Stop doing copyright strikes on my YouTube channel. 8 is enough. I've never had 8 copyright strikes in 2 months on different videos. It's crazy. But think about this. They've just said in that video that they are not compliant. And in the video here, I've got to find it. This is where Matt Burke, the independent auditor, claims that he's given away $100 million worth of dividends. Have a listen to this.
This week. It'll be within a week for sure. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
same thing with the bond, is that going to be on like a one-pager? I know you guys kind of put it on 2 slides, but
So the bond, it will be in the pitch deck, and then we're working on a second one or a third one pager that actually, it kind of looks like a Morningstar report, and that is where we have the actual bond language on. So it's in the disclosure. So there'll be like another one pager. So you're actually going to have that, which has some performance data history that shows, and what that'll have is it'll show how much partner dividends have been paid out like in 24, 23, 22. So those are numbers, because the other thing you want to kind of do, guys, is like shift your language away from percentages. You don't really, like we don't want to say, well, this amount of money came in and this amount of money was paid out, because then you can figure out, okay, well, what are percentages? How much Goliath makes is irrelevant. What is relevant is how much the partner makes. That's all that they should care about, and that's all you should be discussing. But this shows them, wow, Goliath paid out, it was over $100 million to my knowledge in 24. Over
$100 million paid out in dividends in 124. Now do the maths on that alone. 2024, this isn't when they're at their prime. Theoretically, they're at their prime in 2025. You know, and the other one too, remember we're talking about liquidity pools. People were asking them how the money moves throughout Goliath Ventures. And this video here actually becomes more and more clear. The end, like this is all like a jigsaw puzzle. I'm dyslexic, right? And I have to do things over and over again to get it into my head sometimes. And I feel like this is exactly like a jigsaw puzzle. This is a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, and I don't have the cover. And I get all the pieces that look like similar colours and I put them together. I find all the straight edge pieces and I put them together. I find all the blue pieces and all the white pieces and all the bits that have ocean in them. And then eventually the overall picture becomes very clear. Even when I watch this video for the 5th time, I now see the clear picture. Now, one thing I watched just yesterday was this diagram. Now, I wish I had the whole diagram, but if you listen to the diagram, my theory on how they move the money about the company is absolutely spot on.
Right here, this is where you actually make money. Then you exit the funds back into encrypted ledgers and the process repeats. When someone says, how do I get my money back? Well, it starts here. We transfer it back to the institutional Coinbase, and then it comes back through a wire transfer, unless they're wallet to wallet. But that's like, they actually put together another version of this that I like, that is a little more interactive. Where you
establish their own LLC to do business with Goliath. So instead of individuals, you'll have a company. Creates a legal barrier. It's a limited liability company, which is good. The other thing that it does is it creates a clean way for you to be paid by Chris to serve your clients, which are ultimately Goliath's clients, right?
So just get this right, guys. Out of the way, waiter. So this guy, Pierce Curry, has put all his money into Goliath Ventures, like a lot of these executives, which I feel for a little bit, because they truly believe that Christopher is God. He's not. He's more like Satan. But anyway, let's not go there yet. So they have, he's put all his money in. Now, Pierce Curry and his wife are about to buy a house, and they were about to take out all the money they could to buy this house of their dreams. That's the story behind it. Now, Pierce Curry doesn't have a license to do what he's claimed. He's a fraud. Right there and then, this guy does not have any licenses to handle money or give money advice. We even reached out to the company he worked for 2 years ago, and he hasn't kept his license up to date. So right here, when he's doing this, he's not even registered with anybody. We couldn't find it. Give it to us if you can. Now, he's what is he doing? So he's telling people to set up their own LLC companies, just like I've talked about. And then he's telling them that the money is coming from Goliath, but it's not really from Goliath. Now, just work this out. I'm trying to figure this out in my own head bit. So I get told to set up my own company. I recruit people under my own company name, and then those customers that are under my company aren't my customers. They are actually Goliath's customers. That's just what he said, isn't it? So I'm just going to go back, and we're going to listen to that again.
Establish their own LLC to do business with Goliath. So instead of individuals, you'll have a company. Creates a legal barrier. It's a limited liability company, which is good. The other thing that it does is it creates a clean way for you to be paid by Chris to serve your clients, which are ultimately Goliath's clients.
Exactly right. I didn't miss that, did I? So why would they ask people to do that? To change the, to move, So what I'm getting at, guys, in this blog here that you're looking at, this is my blog, this is my picture, and in here you're wondering how they're moving the money around. And now we're wondering, so let me get this right. All the executives now have their own company set up, and they all have their own money within each of their companies. They are getting fed from Goliath Ventures cash register. So when the money's frozen, everybody under the person that you signed up with, so the person you signed up with now isn't an individual, they now have a company. That company is waiting for payment from Goliath. When that money hits that company, then they can distribute the money down to their downline. And that's how Christopher has managed to keep this going for so long. But the problem is now, all the executives that are now company owners or have their own business have been starved of money. So unless their individual company is loaded to the hills with money, they can't keep paying people. And this is why I believe that we're getting mixed reports, that some people are getting paid their dividends. Now, I've owned my own business for 30 years. I'm assuming that if I was to do that, what I'm getting at is I would probably either have a very healthy company, and I could probably keep pleasing the people that squawk the loudest. So I might have somebody who's owed a couple $100 a month. I'll keep paying them to keep them happy. But then I have some big whales who might be costing me $20,000 a month. If I don't have the money in the kitty to pay them, then I'm going to say, oh, look, why don't you keep your money and compound it? Then I don't have to pay the bill, and they'll get a bigger on the back end of the app. Now, just for shits and giggles, this is Goliath Ventures' website. And when you go to their website, they used to have this button on the side that said log in. And that button is now gone. So where did that button go? And why did that button go? It's because they don't want people logging into the back end of their website. They want to try to hide everything. So we just happen to actually stake that button. Where is it? Intel, Goliath. So let's have a look. So if you go to Goliath Ventures, you now have, if you know the link, you have this place you can register. And what we've been doing is we enjoy it. This is what we do to... so if I put Chris at Goliath Ventures Inc. and go to log in, so now it comes up and it says, check your email, Chris. Chris would have just received an email with a PIN code where he can log in. Every time we meet somebody who says they are or aren't an investor, we put their email address in here. And if it comes back with 000, we know that they're an investor. This is the wee thing that we do to keep ourselves amused. However, it's been quite interesting, but why would they make that button move off their website? I mean, there's so many things. I mean, put it back in perspective, and I'm just being stupid here, but if this was a legitimate company, would they be acting in such a manner? All right, so first thing first is the video they never wanted you to see. It's on the internet multiple times now. There's no way they're going to remove that. 8 copyright strikes later, it's not going to happen. So let me just give you a synapse of this video anyway.
This is a leaked February 2025 Goliath Ventures Incorporated event that the company actively tried to bury. In this recording, you can hear Matt Burks and Piers Curry explicitly instructing executive partners to set up their own LLCs in order to interact with Goliath Ventures Incorporated. Payments coming from individuals and personal companies, not the central entity. This is not interpretation. This is their own voices.
Yeah, I just can't get over it. So Matt Burks and Piers Curry, in my opinion, are definitely going to jail. What we need from you, we know that at the moment we've currently got 60 people in my live. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much for the donations. Please keep them coming. I need all the money I can get because I've got a lawsuit coming, right? They've lodged a lawsuit in Orange County to stop me. I'm a New Zealander. I'm an independent journalist based in New Zealand, and they've lodged a lawsuit in Florida. Go to Orange County court records and search for Danny DeHeck. You can read the correspondence. They've even tried asking for my ChatGPT search data to intimidate people. You just can't make this shit up. So they gave a list of all the people they believe are bankrolling me into doing these videos. And I'll just make it perfectly clear. My viewers do give me a little bit of donations, but nothing to make it worth the risk I take exposing these scammers. But they've tried everything they can to stop me. And they've offered me $150,000 to remove all my videos and to write a Dear John letter saying that I was misinformed by a mystery investor. That is what they've done. And I can't tell you some things that have been happening, but I have got some great videos. When Christopher gets in handcuffs and he's in prison, I will release some other videos that I've been holding back, which are quite scary, and you'll realise the risks that I've been taking doing this investigation. These guys are pretty nasty. What we need to know how you receive the money. So if you're an investor and you've lost faith in this, who's your upline? We get sick of people telling us, I'm an investor, but I want to hedge my bets. Well, the game is up. We're going to 72% of people now. So somebody's voting. So I'm going to end the poll in the chat room, in the thing. So we've got a poll, and it said, what do you think is really happening at Goliath Ventures right now? And then, so we've got 75% of people said this is a full collapse. 9% of people say just a small delay. Good on you. And then we've got 8% of people say liquidity went on holiday. Somebody's got a sense of humour. And another 8% was everyone calm the farm. So thank you very much for people who participated in that. That was absolutely awesome. But anyway, so we need to know where the money, how did you receive your money? We want to know whether it's crypto, whether it was given to you in Tether. You know, we need, right now, I have one of the biggest, I have everything. I have been offered, I don't know, I'll just say, I mean, I've got people talking to me who potentially get me in Netflix. I've got the biggest reporters in the world corresponding with me. I also have one of the biggest YouTubers in the world wanting people to tell their story. So if you want to help us blow this up and become a bit of a hero, this is your moment to shine. We need to know, and where you can help us is we've got some massive crypto guys, absolutely the best in the world. And I promise you, I was watching a Netflix documentary, and there's a guy on this documentary who is a renowned crypto clever genius, bing, 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 maybe even a little bit better than Crypto G. And we can track crypto. But what we've tracked so far ain't good enough. A company that's based on crypto doesn't have a very big crypto footprint. But we need addresses. We need wallet addresses that you've been receiving money from. So set yourself up on Signal. Make yourself up a fake handle. That's fine. And tell us the crypto addresses that you've been receiving money from or putting money into. That would help us with our investigation. And to be honest, we work a little bit faster than the government, just saying. So we can have a look. We can put the stuff, I've already been in a Microsoft team meeting with government departments. They said to us, they can't believe the amount of intel that we have gathered, and they're very impressed to my team of Avengers. And that was a real compliment coming from this particular government department. So let's keep investigating. Let's break the records. Let's do this ourselves. This is a DYO Ponzi scheme scam bust. Forget about the government departments who are still trying to catch up, and let us bust this scam ourselves. Let's do it, guys. We can do this. So how did you receive the money? Tell me. Anonymously, go to dehec.com, go to contact us, you get a VPN, tell us the crypto addresses you put the money in. We'll bust this scam ourselves. Who sent it? Individual or LLC name exactly shown. If you put the money into a bank account, what bank account was it? Was it Bank of America? JB Morgan? Let us know. What entity appears as the sender? All this stuff. Now, we managed to shut down a bank account that had $100 million worth of transactions, but the guy didn't want to tell us the bank account number. So he used Wises to deposit the money and gave us the timestamp. We managed to find a deposit of $250,000 by using the timestamp. It would have been so much quicker if he just gave us the bloody bank account number. Why wouldn't you want to give us the bank account number of a company running a fraud? We want the bank account numbers you put the money in. It helps us with our investigation. We can take Christopher off the streets. Can't quite handcuff him, but if we have the information handed to the government agencies that we're working with on a platter, it speeds up the process. Normally, it's a 2-year operation. Fortunately, before I come along, Goliath Ventures has already been investigated, and we have fast-tracked the investigation by tenfolds. So any week now, any day now, Christopher's going to be in handcuffs, but not if he flies off to bloody Dubai. Ugh. Anyway, let's carry on. What entity appeared as the sender? Were you pressured to compound or not to withdraw? If you were pressured, what was the conversation like? I received a conversation today, which I can't share, but the conversation was from one of the men in the top. And it's clear as mustard that the people at the top are sweating because they don't have the money to pay their investors. This investigation is not about blaming victims. If you've invested, you're a victim. If you want to be a hero, reach out to me. This is about forcing transparency, protecting what is left. I don't believe there is much left, I'll just be honest. And triggering, what have we got here? I can't read the words.
Triggering regulatory and federal scrutiny.
Yeah, we want to. We've got the power to do this. This is the world we live in. open source intelligence. Everything that I'm talking about, we've scrambled around the internet, found it. We've spent hours and hours and hours chatting to people. My LinkedIn profile is going off. My profile has 10,000 views a week. So my LinkedIn profile gets 10,000 views a week. Now, I used to think LinkedIn was a waste of time, and I used to get this survey telling me that 197 people have viewed my LinkedIn profile every 3 months. But now, 10,000 people a week are viewing my LinkedIn profile. Reach out to me on LinkedIn, go to deheck.com. At the very top, you'll see how you can reach out to me. My Facebook account has been shut down. My Instagram account has been shut down. My TikTok account has been shut down. My Reddit account has been shut down. These guys are trying to stop me. My website is basically my go-to information. My website is protected by Google's Project Shield. For 2 months, Goliath Ventures, I believe it was Goliath Ventures, had been doing a denial server attack against my website. I even had another scammer claiming that I caused him a stroke and was going to sue me for $300,000. But then we released a video of him chain smoking, and smoking is a major contributor to strokes, just saying. But this guy tried to get my website removed. Because he tried to get my website removed, I reached out to Google and Project Shield to take me on. Project Shield isn't available to everybody. Project Shield is available to journalists who have a voice that need to stay online. So even though Christopher has spent 2 months trying to take my website offline, I've managed to keep it online. It's my go-to. So I'm strong on LinkedIn. There's another target for you. I've had smear campaign articles written about me. People have set up multiple accounts. But recently, I'm in Wikipedia, which is fantastic. But Signal was my go-to. Now, I don't normally put my Signal address on the internet, and I will reset the link in the not-too-distant future. But for this video and the urgency that we need people to speak out, we need you to act fast. If you have first-hand information, I'm sorry, but I don't want to hear about how you've lost all your money and you shouldn't have mortgaged your house. I get it. It's a shame. I don't want to hear about the guy that convinced you and you feel a bit silly and you're embarrassed. I get it. It's a shame. I'm sorry. I don't want to have an emotional connection with you. I need the hardcore facts. But now is the time to come forward. Stop sitting on your bloody hands and start doing something about a person that's just spent $5 million on a bloody event to show off to the world how good he was. We had insiders there. We know what was happening. These insiders said it was an amazing performance. He is trying to promote himself. What he's trying to do, he's trying to trade his way out of the disaster he's got when he played around doing liquidity. What did he do? When he's wasted all the money and done stupid crypto trades and lost all your money. That's what he's done. So set up a Signal account. Now, when you set up a Signal account, it asks you for a name. Make up a code name, James Bond one. Keep it in theme. And then reach out to me directly via Signal. So if you open up that Signal, right, you're going to get this here. And it says, and you'll be able to open it up. And before you know it, you'll be connected to me. Oh, look, it popped up on my screen up there. So, a warning you cannot afford to ignore. If you are an investor in this scam, understand this clearly. Goliath Ventures behaves like a doomsday cult. The leader is asking you to believe for just a little while longer while he spends your money that you have saved and slaved for. Stop trusting Goliath Ventures lies. Get in touch with me. Contact the FBI. Stop threatening to do it. It's time to go to the FBI or the RCMP. Wish I knew what that word meant. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to me or law enforcement. Now, we've also set up a WhatsApp group called Recovery, and that's their logo if you haven't noticed. So that's basically it. But I do want to run through the 20. How many other videos have we done now? This is number 23. So I'm just going to go through them one at a time. Basically, the first blog that we did was all about looking at their contracts, which I have always said is like the sword that they're going to fall on. They tell you that they're compliant. That was a load of rubbish. Then they realized that we were doing videos, and they claimed that we were running a smear campaign. And they also did, the reason that we were doing it because we were jealous. We found out about their bookkeeper that can run a $500 million company, Nadia Bringus, and we found out that she was actually working for Harry Samuels, which was the same guy that was setting up all the LLC companies. They had a fake audit. We exposed Matt Burke for being the parish at his church. We reached out to the church. They scrubbed him from the website. We also found out they don't have FinCEN registration, which basically means they don't have any licenses to do any money trading, which means that every bit of money that they're handling is illegal and all that sort of terrible sort of stuff. Now, what's going to happen with clawbacks? People who think, we had people reach out to us telling us that they've made more money than they put in. One guy put 15 million in. He actually managed to make $2.8 million in profit. He actually managed to withdraw his 15 million, and now he has 17.8 million. What happens to the 2.8 million? Well, he's happy to give it back. So we've heard. And one hell of a nice guy too. So we've heard. And 16 other people in the same profession as him also invested. So once one guy walks off the cliff, all these other people think because he walked off the cliff, I'll walk off the cliff. I'm sick and tired of being at the bottom of the cliff. I want to be at the top of the cliff, stopping these bastards, the Christophers, the Tomos, the Steve Davises from pushing people over the cliff. Enough is enough. We can fight these scammers, and I need your help. Right, security questions. Now, the security questions is the contracts that you've signed going to stand up legally if you're going to try to take Christopher to court. Remember, Christopher's going to have no money. No, they're not, because he shut down the company, and it's just disgusting. So your contract's not worth the toilet paper. So these are all blogs and videos I've done in the past. Then we compared what a real company would look like that would manage to trade $500 million worth in 2 years. You would see nothing like you're seeing. You won't see guys sitting around in nightclubs smoking cigars and spending $100,000 a night on booze. No, you would expect to see a team full of corporates who have got a history longer than your arm of handling money. You would expect to see proper documentation. So we looked at what a real company would look like. So who's still profiting? Well, you have to look at the people that are buying and selling these assets. You have to look at people that are detailing their cars. You have to look at the venues that they're hosting. Like, we reached out to the Miami event, and we told them that they're hosting an event of a known scammer. I tell them I've been in the New York Times, I've been in Bloomberg, I've been in a Guardian newspaper, ABC News or Channel 9 News in Australia said I'm the biggest scam fighter in Australasia. And here I am telling you that someone who's running a $5 million event in your venue is running a scam, and it just goes to deaf ears. So what's going to happen to these people that have taken money from the scam? Then we've got photos of Ron DeSantis, Kalpesh Patel, Andrew Tate. I showed you that video. All these people they're schmoozing with. I think Christopher's hoping that he's going to get a pardon from Donald Trump after he's incarcerated. Who knows? Then they started trying to sue me in Florida. So they've lodged a court case against Danny DeHeck. And, if you go into the Orange County Register and search for court documents and search for Danny DeHeck or Goliath Ventures or Christopher Delgado. Or if you search for Christopher Delgado, you'll find he's still going through a divorce. But anyway, you'll see that he's tried suing me. So that he's tried suing a journalist rather than answering my basic questions like, oh, are you doing crypto mining? Can you show us a picture of your crypto mining? Crickets. Liquidity pool trading. What did he do? He paid $1 million to be the naming sponsor for Goliath Ventures. For Patrick Ben David's Vault 2025 conference. To have naming rights, he paid $1 million. He stood on the stage and tried to tell everyone that he's helping people with their passive incomes. And he said that they do liquidity trading with pancake swaps. For God's sake, it was embarrassing to even listen to Chris on a microphone. But anyway, what I'm getting at there is, there's a lot of, I don't know what I'm getting. Then they started trying to do copyright strikes. So officially, full transparency, 3 copyright strikes that my YouTube channel received came directly from Goliath Ventures. And I actually have had 9 copyright strikes. Am I on the 9th? 9th copyright strike, maybe 8. No, I think it's 9 over the last 10 weeks. And all of them are clear now. So I'm ready for another one, Chris. Crypto crash. Now, that was in October, wasn't it? So October, crypto crashed. $380 billion lost in a day. Biggest loss ever. Chris didn't even flinch. In fact, what he did, he decided to hold a webinar to calm the farm. It was marketed as a 45-minute webinar that lasted 12 minutes. No one could speak, no one could ask any questions, no one could see who was in the webinar. And we did try to get into that webinar, but we failed. But we did hear from our whistleblowers and also from people, our vendors, what actually happened. Right, so after that, we thought, well, we might as well play silly buggers, and we filed a 22-page motion to dismiss to the Florida courts. Now, all these links that you see in this blog that you'll find in the link in the description of the video that you're watching right now, you can go in here and you can actually read our 22-page motion to dismiss. Since then, probably just about every 4 days, I get a letter from their lawyer trying to prod us in the ribs to do stupid shit. It's actually quite pathetic. And you know, these guys have offered me $150,000 to shut up, which is incredible. And I think I had a bigger offer coming, but I didn't want to listen to it because I don't want to take any money illegally. So if you want to support me, it would be really nice. All right, so the banking, what have we got? Did you escape the scam? Oh, yes, so this guy come to us, and basically he was making sure that he could run away with the money he's made, which was quite a hard case. He was yelling at us down the phone, calling us a scammer. But because he rang us up, he thought he was a whistleblower. But he wasn't a whistleblower. He was an opportunist. We did a whole blog about that. The banking breakdown. This is when they switched banks. This is after we shut down one of their banks with the Bank of America. Then we recently found another bank that they had open with the Bank of America. And when we notified the bank, we just got this message back going, whoa, from the bank saying, oh my God, there's $100 million worth of transactions in this bank account. Now, we don't think this scam is running directly from bank accounts only, but it does look like that's how they are managing some of the money. But we've shut down 2 of their banks, but they did a newsletter basically claiming that the bank that they had, the Bank of America, second biggest bank in America, what am I trying to say? That bank couldn't handle the growth of Goliath, so they had to switch bank. In full transparency, they were telling us that, but they failed to tell us the name of the bank they have moved to. That's why we need those bank account numbers that you're putting the money in. And if you have put money in, please do tell us the timestamps. And if you can get your money, do get your money out. You might be able to get the money out if your score can say you're going to go to the FBI. Remember, you're dealing with a company down here, not with Goliath, so you just need to give the executive that introduced you into a hard time, he may actually fold at the knees. Then we looked at Stephen Davis. Stephen Davis is actually someone people like. He's a man who knows how to schmooze his way into a community, a fireman. He was a fireman for 2 decades. That was the word I was looking for before. In here, we found an article that makes him look like a hero. Now, when you search for Steve Davis, you'll find this article that he had published, self-published, a sponsored article, and you'll see we actually had this article removed for a few days, and now it's back. I don't know if it's been rewritten, but there's Steve Davis here talking about how wonderful he is. And in here, he talks about how he's raising alphas. It's all male stuff. It's like the war room. And then you've got raising alphas. They need to look after the women more, because we've heard some heinous stuff about men associated with these guys and the things they do to women. And I'm not going to go there today. But what we found is this article was promoted as a editorial. Now, I've been in the New York Times. They interviewed me 4 times over Zoom over a 13-week period, and then they published an article about the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger. This is not an article written by any journalist. In fact, if you go to the bottom of the article, you can see the Market Insider and Business Insider editorial teams are not involved in the creation of this post. So this is self-promotion 101. So I couldn't help myself. I set myself up in front of the same cruddy Porsche. I do hear he has a Lamborghini. And I think if we click on here, you can actually see one of his Lamborghinis now. So Steve Davis, the fireman, left the fire brigade, and now he drives one of these lovely shiny cars. How does that work? Because he's told all the other firemen to mortgage their bloody houses and invest in Goliath Ventures. Now, that means that Steve Davis will have his own company set up. What's the name of his company? What's the bank account? We want to shut down his bank account. We've done it before and we'll do it again. Speed up the process. Help us fight these bastards. So anyway, Steve Davis, nice to see. Hope you had a lovely event the other day. Right, now what have we got? What else we got? That's right, paid their romantic partners. Oh, that's right. So we were told that the funds were frozen, and then we found out that some of the executives were getting paid, so we did a blog about that. We talk about Andrew Tate. Now, this is where, unfortunately, I believe all the money's gone. This blog does explain a lot about what we believe's happened to the money, but in here we show you a live example how Andrew Tate, which is meant to be one of the worst traders in the world, has actually lost all the money previously by doing what they call leverage trading. Go and check it out, read that. Now just imagine Christopher's on the same 3 yachts getting lectured by Andrew Tate at the same time all the money freezes. And here's an example of how Andrew Tate had lost all his money doing leverage trading. If Chris has been copying what he's been doing, that would explain where the money went, and that's why I put that theory out there. Right, so then we have Goliath Ventures and Jonathan Manson. Now, why I'm going on about this is Jonathan Manson is a Canadian, and we have heard from multiple sources that Canadians have now been offered Goliath Ventures, well, whatever LLC company it is, 8% return per month. Unheard of. Now, if that's true, we are scared that Canadians are going to get bitten by Goliath Ventures. And it's going to be done under all these companies. So a big player, Jay Newton, was the big guy. We believe that he's brought in $120 million for Goliath Ventures. He's a Canadian. So if these Canadians, we've heard that they've been pitching to sports teams. So if they get another round of Goliath Ventures investments rolling, we won't be stopping this scam anytime soon unless the authorities step in quick. And that's what I am yelling down the phone with them, saying you need to stop these guys. I was yelling down the phone saying you need to stop this event happening. It's an embarrassment to law enforcement. These guys know it's a scam and they're promoting it to their friends and family. We've heard 70-year-old people who've been told to take out their super money and put it, their 4041k, is it? And put that into Goliath Ventures. As soon as you move your entity, your funds from one entity to another for your retirement, I heard that you lose 30% along the way. So these people are sitting here being badgered by their family members who are involved in Goliath Ventures to invest their life savings. These people won't have an opportunity to get any money back once their life savings have gone. Time and time again, I've seen scammers take people's life savings. Don't let it happen to your friends. Just because your son that you love is convinced that he knows all about crypto and thinks that what's his name? Chris Delgado is a good guy because we had a concert in Wyoming. Do not listen to these guys. Unfortunately, they have got deaf ears and they are blinded by too good to be too true opportunity. And now 75% of my viewers believe this is a collapse of a Ponzi scheme. Tomo, the Brotherhood post. He posted out there and he told people that who leave the Brotherhood will be chucked outside the circle, using manipulation techniques that you wouldn't hear about unless you've been in a religious cult like I have. And then, this is the one that we've got right now, Goliath Ventures. This is your time to make your payouts, guys. Do it, Chris. If you've got any money left, give it to your investors before it gets clawed back by the FBI, Homeland Security, USS, all those people. Hey, if you're wondering about me, what I do, how I do my investigations, well, we're called open source intelligent investigators. That means we dive through information on the internet and we find our sources. We spend hours and hours in Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups, on Signal, in LinkedIn, chatting to people, verifying information, double checking it. We get it from 5 different sources. We verify stuff. A lot of stuff that we haven't published, we can't publish until we verify it. We do our best. My disclaimer is that we can't always get it right, but we do believe there's more red flags with this whole Ponzi scheme that you can poke a stick at. We don't do anything illegal. It's all publicly available records, archive web pages, corporate filings, domain name data, social media activity, open blockchain transaction. No private data, hacking, unlawful access methods were used in our investigation with this story. If you want to know more about me, do go to my website, theheck.com. As I said, I'm in Wikipedia. It's already been plagiarized a little bit already. We're fixing that as we go. Do check out my YouTube channel. I do have a podcast, which seems to be going off lately, which is really good. You can book me as well. I'm available for speaking engagements. So, Chris, if you want me to speak at your next event, reach out to me. I've been featured in Bloomberg News, India. This isn't my first rodeo. Guardian Australia, ABC News, New York Times, Radio New Zealand, and Otago Times. And that's basically me. It's I don't really know what to say, guys, except you can't make this shit up. And I'm hoping that we're making a difference. And yeah, so maybe we can have a look at the party photos just one more time. I mean, look at the people that he's managed to get. Look at him in his white suit. He's even blonde. Does he dye his hair blonde? You know, like, what a party to throw. Yeah. All right, guys, I think I've had enough. I've done my dash. You know, reach out to me. Find me on Signal. You're more than welcome to talk to me. If you're an investor, we're here to work for investors. We're not here. We want to bring down all the main executives. And if any of those main executives, like Vince, actually want to talk to us or want to become an official whistleblower, do reach out to us. We can help you. It's not something you want to do tomorrow. It's something you want to do today. Thank you to everybody that's been in this chat room, and thank you for the lovely donations. And if you do have it in you and you can afford a donation, it's welcomed. It's much needed. So thank you very much I haven't looked at the donations, but I do thank you very much for that donation that you've given me. It will go a long way in my quest to name and shame anyone running or promoting a large-scale Ponzi scheme or a scam. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching.